All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Abbey West Recording coming at you live. We've got Tripp Whitney in the house.
Hey, y'all.
And we're going to talk about one of their latest releases.
Someway Somehow, correct? That's the one we're talking about.
Someway Somehow.
Yes.
It always felt like it kind of should be somehow, some way.
We were going to change it at one time, and I just think I put it there, and I didn't want to change it.
And actually, the title came about
fear change.
just to mark the song.
Yeah.
What do you
We
mean
didn't really
by
have
that?
a name for it, yeah.
Oh, just like you just came up with it.
Well, just so when I demoed what I did have, he had a way to find it again. He had to give it a name. You know what I mean? So I just kind of blurted it out.
And I always go, we need something for this. What are we going to call it?
Right, sure.
Other than Mark 1 or something.
And the theme of the lyrics actually fit the title pretty good, but I was never ever actually to fit it in the lyrics. One of the few times I wasn't able to do that.
I didn't even notice that. See? It worked. It worked okay.
Yeah.
It works so well, it doesn't even have the words in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someway, somehow.
Like, most Led Zeppelin songs are like that. There's a title to a Led Zeppelin song, and it means nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I never knew him. One of my favorite bands, I couldn't tell you what song. I would just have to go, na 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 na.
Nor could I. Yeah.
Na 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 na.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, same here. But, yeah.
Well, I wanted to get to know a little bit about your process. I know you guys have known each other for a long time, been making music together a long time.
A little while.
How does this Tripp Whitney musical artistic process work?
Well, we have a lot of ways it works. I told Jerry I wanted to be a country singer, and he said, "Okay, send me what you got." And I sent it to him, and he actually put together a song out of what I gave him, and got Buddy in there, who's a real country player. And the theme was, "Hey, we'll tame the rock part of you, right? Keep your basic parts, and bring in more country stuff, and we'll get there. And if you can't do it, we'll get somebody else." Because we weren't really sure if I was going to be able to sing it very good.
Yeah.
To be honest, he knew I could write the parts and come up with music, but would I be could you sell me as a country singer? And so it took some time to develop that, right? And I think he was really instrumental in that.
Yeah, it was like a ballad. It's a country ballad. So it was like it was really traditional country sounding, like 70s country ballad kind of thing. So it was actually kind of easy. It ended up replacing everything. Right.
Yeah.
On there. But that's the last time we've done that. Now he'll play his parts. I play part. Whatever. We'll do parts.
This was your first song, you mean?
Yeah, is and it's this thing that spawned this entire thing, right?
Right.
Don't talk yourself out of loving me. Yeah, and but it's the only one of the only ones we haven't finished. Because
interesting.
Shortly after that, we developed a style. With the next song, we did Cowboy from Nevada.
We came up with Dakota, Cowboy from Nevada, and Pale Rider. So when we sang Pale Rider, it was really difficult. And he would be over there, no. Kind
of like in that
That's
one
it.
video.
And I'm like, I'm trying to get this style out, but I don't get it. And then finally he turned to me and goes, try this, step it down, like this. And so I kind of, Pale Rider, like that, right? And then pretty soon that became like a technique of the vocals. My way of getting country, I guess. But really, he just rode me on that song, man. I mean,
well, in what basically happened with those first few songs is that we didn't have that original song we started was kind of like didn't sound. It just sounded like a stock country song. It's what I would do to somebody off the cuff brought me a song, and I'm like, here's what we'll do, make a stock country song out of it. Now we actually had a style within like 2 or 3 songs. So Together was another one. Yeah, Cowboy from Nevada, and then there was the style was totally there, and that original song didn't fit with us anymore. So it's one of the reasons we've tried other things, tried maybe speeding it up. I just haven't really.
And then we started to have more luck in this too, because it was really hard. I mean, it was frustrating. He was like, "Nah, we'll just put the song away for a year or a month or whatever." you know what I mean? I'm like, I'll get it, man. It's like the only time I think I've ever seen him like lose faith in me. Like maybe I wouldn't be able to do it. And I got it. Pale Rider is very stylish song, and it set the tone for where my voice fit in this music.
Okay.
I'm not a low southern singer really, but I can sing low. But it's it just came up with the phrasings that gave a personality to the Tripp Whitney style.
Right.
It's all Jerry, man. He's a director. He's like a coach, right? He's like a coach. He wants to see me be a quarterback. He wants to see me get a touchdown, and he's just not going to let me go out there and look stupid.
We need a win. We need
and to tell me I'm great if I'm not.
Yeah, we need a win. Yeah, we need to be able to pay for the locker room.
He's going to try to get me there.
Well, I think that's one of the key things, like skills that Jerry has, is that no matter what kind of music you're making, he has something to say about how to make that better. You know, how to improve that.
Right. He can attach himself to your vision, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He can. Now, a lot of musicians can't handle it, though.
Sure.
Because it's insulting to their ego. But I think one thing you should be mentioned about this song is the egos get checked at the door. They really do. I practiced my whole life to be a lead guitar player. I'm really good at lead guitar, but I'm not necessarily the countryest lead guitar player. So there's Buddy playing most of the leads. You have to be okay with stuff like that, not always being the center of attention on every song like I might have been in most of my other music. Always about me.
Yeah, and then just being able to take sing that
direction.
Again. Yeah, direction. Whatever I laid out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a songwriter.
Like, okay, I'll do it.
I give him the song.
Yeah.
Hey. No.
Yeah. Come on, man.
No, I'm a songwriter when I give him the song. I'm a studio musician when I come back to do it. I really don't sit there and practice it just how I want it.
Right.
I try to get the skills down so I know it, understand a couple things, and then wait for him to tell me what.
Right.
He's just gonna, he's gonna react to it. Hey, that's right on the money. Oh, yeah, you need to choke those notes off. You really just need to choke those notes off, and I'll really try to do that. For
like you said before, it's like you don't want to practice it too much because it's just going to get changed anyway.
Right. Right.
So, and we're going to refine it, and it's going to be what has to be done for the song. And as far as styles go, that's another thing why I think people would want to come in here and record with Jerry, like I do, is because he understands the style, and if you're open, he's going to tell you if you're missing. Hey, they don't do that in that style. They're, you want to chank that, mute it or not mute it. You know what I mean? And those are helpful for getting out a real good song for a listener to like.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about the song, Someway Somehow. How did you write that? What was the thinking behind it?
Well, this is actually, we have a lot of ways of coming up with songs. It could be your feelings, or it could be a technical thing, and this is like a thinker song. I was watching a video. The title of the video is What Will Happen If I Tune All My Strings to E and One String to B? And I thought, well, what will happen? So I watched the video,
None of us did.
And I thought to myself, I like that sound. I can write a song with that tuning. I've never done it before. He's never heard it before.
Yeah.
So I came up with this little riff idea. I came by one day for some other business, showed him the riff in between his sessions. He's like, yeah, work on that. And we need a short chorus that gets to the point.
Yeah.
Real chorus, because sometimes I tend to have some long ones.
I have been complaining about that for off and on.
You know what I mean?
I say, we gotta get shorter choruses.
So once I had this really strong riff, opening riff, and I went ahead and write the verses, but it's a really weird tuning, right? All your strings are the same, except one. So there's only one string that'll counter and give you a chord,
right?
And you know what I mean? And so I came up with it. It was almost like a 50s rock riff backwards. And it's really kind of weird. Instead of da na 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 na, it's na 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 na, which is kind of a weird feel. And then I had a good chorus. The chorus came up, and I brought it in here. I think I'm probably sang the first verse of lyrics twice to give them a template to work from.
Gotcha.
And that's it. Intro, verse, chorus, and then that's his to put together. Go, Jerry.
And then, so I got it from there and then just arranged it. So added, we need some more parts here. We need this here, this or that. And so usually we'll get you down there. You'll come down and we'll come up with a part to put here. I don't remember. I think it was the bridge section that we came up. We needed something there.
You did the intro riff.
Yeah.
And you did the intro riff, and you said you got to sing over it.
Yeah, then that's like to me one of my favorite parts of the song. Is that section right there.
I'm sure that he had a couple things that he wanted me to do with it. It's got to be different. You got to sing over this, and it's got to be different than the rest of the song. Oh, okay. So then I just go back and work on it, like I said, like a worker, studio musician.
Sure.
I just use my tools and I go about finishing the song.
Yeah.
So with that song and like so many other songs, they all get written different ways. Sometimes it'll be more complete when it comes to me. Sometimes we'll come up with it on the spot. Sometimes it's one riff, one vocal part, and then we start piecing it together.
Yeah.
This one came together pretty well, but the normal process after that is basically laying down these scratch parts, figuring out what we like, getting rid of that, doing another scratch part, right? Yeah. And then getting drums on it, and real stuff to play to.
Yeah.
And then he'll do his acoustic guitar part or his electric guitar part. Yeah, we played it on the Yamaha guitar.
Yeah.
And I played an acoustic part in the with regular tuning.
Yeah.
In the.
So I really never know what
course.
he's going to do with the song.
Yeah.
So I'm not projecting that, because that, in order to make it a project, it's you got to share. He wants to make it his song too. Right. So I got to leave him
straight.
He don't want to feel like he's taking nothing away from me, but he wants to feel like he's contributing to the songwriting and to the direction of the songs. And a lot of times, if you listen to our music, it's all me in the beginning, just like I did it, and then it takes over and it becomes Jerry's song, and it's this production with me. He's playing me.
Right.
He could edit up something I played and create a whole new part for me I have to learn how he played me.
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean?
Gotcha.
I have to come back for the permanent tracks and learn that part. That's fun, and that's good teamwork. I think that gives us a good band sound.
Do that on solo sometimes. Like I'll have not what I want for the solo, and start piecing together bits of guitar in there and put together an actual solo out of the stuff that's already been played.
Yeah.
So it's not always the best way to do it. It's just good to get a good solo, but it's kind of fun to do that too.
Yeah.
But in this song, then after we once we get that acoustic guitar part down, I'll usually do a bass part or something, and then have a rough. It'll be a rough bass or it'll be the keeper. It just depends. I'll always try to do a keeper, but I usually end up changing stuff. And from there, it gets sent over to Buddy.
Okay.
And Buddy Emmer. And he adds his magic to it, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And he's not playing he's playing banjo, right, on this one, and
some dobro.
Dobro and electric guitar.
It's a made-for-radio song. If I could compare it to anything, like, it has a formula. Some people don't like that, and some people do. Like REO Speedwagon, heard from a friend who, you know what I mean? There's a formula there that...
You told them they're laughing all the way to the bank, right?
Yeah, laughing all the way to the bank. Again, we're in a different age and a different world, and, we're obviously not going to be up in anybody's poster on a wall. Maybe Jerry.
I have my own posters. So, no, I don't.
But the song is I think it catches you from the second you tap your feet. And what the song is supposed to draw the listener, man, and yet it's technical. If you're a player, you're interested in playing a song like this, and if you're a listener, it doesn't sound like it's all about the player. You know what I mean? It's just a song.
Yeah. It's riff based.
Yeah.
Like most of the stuff that you come up with, it's not just a C chord to an F chord. It's going to be a riff, or a tricky chordal part, and that's what most of the stuff that we do.
I try to be basic in this music, though, but it's really hard because I'm also trying to be unique.
Yeah, so I'll say, okay, here's like we did with Lucky 7. I go, okay, write a song. I told him that anybody who just picked up the guitar, like a week ago, learned the guitar, can play this song.
Right.
And so that's C, F, and G, right?
And so, there's a couple songs like that. Also, Meet You in the Barn. He goes, "We need a Zydeco tune." I was like, "Awesome."
Well,
what's that?
Yeah, I gave you the riff.
He goes, dun 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 dun. But there's that is a note progression that's really familiar, and I think people related to the 50s, but it's played different, and it's really hard to hear how little the difference is, but it's significant.
It's a little.
And so he showed me that. So I just said I will use that riff and write the song around the riff.
Yeah, and you played that riff, and then we added. Some people call that riff, that line, da da da, the Elvis, bass line or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And I knew the bass would do that. And at least one guitar had to do that, but then really it had to be filled in with everything else.
Right.
So you played acoustic, part of it. I think I played electric on it. It's the only one that Buddy's
Right, and again,
actually.
and as far as I played the acoustic part, it's, he's telling me how that style, the guitar player that comes in to do a studio session on that style of music, how that guy's going to play it. And I really want to do that because these songs are about that style. It wasn't, again, it's not about me, it's about the Zydeco style. So how can I make a Tripp Whitney song that's Zydeco style and would a Zydeco player be thinking, yep, that's right in the style.
Yeah, you can still recognize that it's Tripp Whitney.
Yeah.
Right. Are there any particular parts you want to play and talk about?
Yeah, the intro riff really does sound. I mean,
I'm pretty proud of it.
It just sounds a little different. It doesn't sound like
it's like a violin. So I stretch the strings instead of sliding them on a violin. It's very staccato. You stretch up to the note and end it. Ramp down. And
it's pretty cool. If you're looking for that, you might go, it still sounds like a guitar. But I mean, every time I won't hear that song in a while and I listen to it again, I'm like, the guitar riff, it's different sounding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a different sound to it.
Yeah, it's out outside the box for me, which makes it fun. It's a pretty likable tune. I think everybody can relate to. I wake up, I get up, I'm tied up, and I'm fed up. I'm working, I'm paying,
That's what I do every
and I'm
day.
on my knees and praying. I mean, who hasn't felt that? You know what I mean? Something we all have in common.
When is this being released?
Yeah, it's coming out the 20th. And either way, there's lots of songs to discover here. We've got 18 tunes on release, Spotify, Pandora, all that. Almost 300,000 plays. So it's pretty good for a couple old guys with no band. I can't get the guy out to play, man. Grandpa.
I've played enough. No, I'd like to play some more. We just got to get some gigs. We got to get a band, get everybody together.
Yeah.
Got to get the old band back together,
Get the
man.
band back together, man.
We're going on the road.
Yeah, it's the tough one. It's just getting everybody's schedule.
But anyway, and don't forget, I'm always I'm out front. I'm Tripp Whitney, but it's a band, and I can't just say every song I write, everything that he does and I do. I write songs, and that's the main thing I do. And he also writes the songs, but the main thing he does is he's a composer. That's how I would describe Jerry. He can describe himself however he wants. But I'm describing him as a composer. He takes my song and he makes it a composition for all kinds of musicians that I think are high-level musicians that if you ask them, they would say that they really love playing this music. It's a challenge.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about this stuff. It's not easy to play live. And it's not because there's like a bunch of hard riffs to play or anything like that. Anybody can play it. It's just learning them because we set out to arrange them in a way that there's stuff. There's things going on. There's an extra half a bar here. There's a break. Yeah. It's not a 1-4-5 all the way through. It's going to have different
if we're repeating a verse, there's an altered melody with an extra accent on a banjo or a harmony that he likes to do. And again, if you listen to the songs as it goes on, Jerry wants to give you a reason to make it all the way to the end of the song and hear something new, even over a repeated phrase.
Well, from the get-go, we always like the idea of arranging, building a song dynamically. So, start off with the most minimal part of it. It gets bigger and bigger as it goes on. Maybe comes down in a place, and that's a real pretty steady formula with the stuff that we're doing. Yeah, because every single part is going to be like a diamond. Some of them got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just trying to make the best song. So, and build it as it goes, and propel the arrangement forward. Take the listener somewhere.
See, it's fun. You're working with your team, man. It's like going to summer camp and getting on your boat. One guy's the captain and one guy's the mate, man. And you just go out there and you ride the waves and you have fun. You don't worry about the rest.
To answer that question earlier, we've been working together since 1980. And then we ended up
playing bands.
You joined the band. We had a band called The Others, right? Spelled with a U.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, UTHIRS, right? The classic worst thing you can do to your band name, right? It's like
it was great. Great songs. Eddie was really good at songwriting. That's where I learned to write songs. He always supported me on my music. He has had something to do with every album I put out. My band Slap Grammar, he recorded. He played some bass on my first Buried album. Helped me write some songs for the second Buried album. Yeah. And actually never got credit for that. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I'm glad you're giving credit now.
Yeah. No, he helped me out a lot. Big influence in my life. Get in the studio.
Times, good times.
Leave your ego somewhere else and come and learn. Record your songs. And I always think that everybody should have a producer. Bands should not produce their own music. He does, but it's different. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it's a real team thing. You should have
it's not like the bass is not cranked super loud because that's my main instrument.
Yeah, it's
I
not
play
too
other stuff
loud.
on
It's
there,
not too loud because he's the bass player.
Yeah.
And the studio guy.
Now, 25 or 30 years ago, for sure, we had that bass cranking.
It's a little
louder
loud.
than the vocal if possible.
It's really loud.
Yeah. But I play other stuff on there too, so everything needs to make it on there.
Good God, it's loud.
That's still on stage. I'm still pretty loud on stage. But, you know, I love recording because it's permanent. Once you do it, it's always there.
Yeah.
So, you know.
We got a legacy.
When you play live stuff, it's just gone in the wind.
Tripp Whitney,
could have been the
country
best solo I
music.
ever did. Yeah, but.
Cool.
About loving your family, loving your friends, being together, all kinds of touchy-feely stuff. All right. Peace out. See you on the road.
Yeah. Woo!
See you on the internet.
Yeah.